Okay, Monday morning, I just ordered the paint. I decided to go with the Eco Spec from Benjamin Moore after reading online and reading some reviews. There are some alternative types of paint, some that are milk based, but because we have so much to paint, like literally the whole house needs to be repainted. And because we want to be able, I still want like a finish that's going to hold over the years. I don't want to have to, I don't want like a paint that just scratches, or that if you try to wash it, it's taken away. So I think this will be the best of both worlds. The Eco Spec is more expensive. It actually doesn't come in the big container. It only comes in a gallon, which is a bit of a downside. So we had to bite the bullet on that one because we need so much. But it's zero emission, it's low odor, it's zero VOC, which is what really I was looking for, especially for the bedrooms. So I think it's the right decision. We're gonna get it in a couple days because that's special order, but it's quick. I'm happy with the turnaround. So paint is done. Okay, so we're removing these trims that are everywhere. They're just a bit overkill. So we're gonna go for a more classic snow look. So I think I'll need to become a mushroom expert. Turns out we have in this little area here, we have lots and lots of different types of mushrooms growing. There's these guys here. So we'll have to do some research. Okay, a little end of day update. I'm by the pond. Found this peaceful spot. Oh, I don't know if you can see, the house is right there. Okay, so today Phil managed to remove all the trims and the moldings around on top of the doors, so that's done. Later tonight he's going to remove all the light fixtures. The plumber called, he's going to come tomorrow, which is great, ahead of schedule. And then our mill worker came this afternoon and we remeasured the kitchen entirely, which is so great. It's so amazing to work with someone local because we did have to make some tweaks to the final plan, and he's starting to build now, so better to measure everything, triple check. Yeah, we're gonna have, because of the marble slabs that I found, we have to actually go by that. So the marble slabs being natural stone, we have to kind of, that drives the show, that drives the direction and the measurements. So we have to make our pantry a little bit smaller, but by moving our laundry room downstairs, we're getting a little bit more space, so we're hoping it's gonna work. And then we were able to measure our new bar area, which will be great, and our island, so that the electrician and the plumber know exactly where to do their thing tomorrow. So I think we're in good shape for that. And yeah, trying to remember all the things we did today, but with work throughout. My dad is mowing the lawn right now. He's having the time of his life. I think it's good meditation for him. So giving us a huge hand there, because there's quite a bit. So it's nice to have his help. There you go. More soccer tonight, and we'll be back here at the house bright and early tomorrow morning to continue. Okay, Tuesday, week 2. This morning, I just was reflecting in the car here, looking at, this massive piece of land that is ours now, and the massive responsibility that I feel comes with it. And we're calling this Call to Nature, And arriving here, I just feel it's really important that we take the time to listen, connect with this piece of property and see what it's asking for. But you know, it's just showing me how little I know and how I need to learn and polish my knowledge on you know, biodynamics and permaculture and gardening and biogeometry. And there's just so many answers in nature and so much wisdom, and I just feel intimidated or humbled by it. Looking at all of this, I want to make sure we don't rush into anything. You know, we did decide to go for a pool on year one because we just want the kids to be happy, and as they grow, we want them to just, you know, be happy to be here. We want this to be the place where they bring their friends, and we want people to come to us. And you know, the summers get pretty toasty here, so we just felt like it was a necessary addition. But we do want to build and create everything around it in a very thoughtful manner so that it blends in with the surroundings and that it's not too disruptive to the ecosystem that's already in place and the one that we want to build and grow. So anyway, lots of reflective thoughts. Okay, what do you guys think? Should we remove these? They seem to be, we just unscrewed them and it's not budging, so it's probably glued on. So we'll see. One down. Success.
I just opened it.
Wow. It's going to make quite a nice difference. And that orange wall, of course, is gotta go. The most epic storm. Look at this. Just went by. I was out looking for the rainbow, but can't find it. Okay, so you know that storm I showed you on the dock? He'll talk to us about how it was at the house.
I was upstairs, I went downstairs, and then I noticed in the sunroom, one of the windows was open. So there was kind of a lake in the sunroom. And then I was like, oh gosh, I think the garage door is open downstairs. Because the plumber, electrician had to move the equipment. So yeah, there was about that much of water. And we have tons of boxes with brand new furniture there, so I had to empty everything, dry everything out, and yeah, that's fun. That's part of it, I guess.
What did you do in that storm? Did you go dance in the rain?
Yeah, I was all wet.
You went dance in the rain. What about you, little lion? So yeah, fun times. I guess people left windows open throughout the house because it's been really hot these past few days. So we had a bit of a surprise. We can't really let that happen again. But hey, lesson learned. Okay, so just wanted to show our morning routine since we got the house. Phil's leaving really early, and then I'm making all the lunches, all the breakfast. So and I'm making lunches for Phil and I too, so we're most efficient. Everybody gets a smoothie in the morning, so this is mine. Everybody else has gotten theirs. And yeah, that's how we start our day. The place is a complete mess. We have boxes, open boxes everywhere, but you know, it's going to be like that for a few more weeks, hopefully. We're still aiming to move in once the cabinets are installed, which should be, yeah, in 3-4 weeks. So we'll see. Yeah, have a good day. Little update. The electrician, there are 2 guys and they're working really hard. There's lots of work, but we're taking advantage. We're opening all the ceilings, we're opening everything, and apparently we're even opening the outside walls. So we're taking advantage of that to just try to think ahead and put everything we need. So we're gonna put some like built-in speakers and infrared heater outside and new pot lights. And we've measured everything in the bedrooms as well to make sure we know where to put all the ceiling lamps. And yeah, so it's been busy. And so the electrician says he's probably got another couple days. But hey, it's moving along. Little update, solo parenting. Have both my kids on the field and looking after my nephew too. Phil's still at the house. The electrician was able to stay a bit longer, which is great. We take every minute we can because he said he's not going to be able to come back this week, and then he goes on vacation because the entire world of construction shuts down for the next 2 weeks in Quebec. So we thought he would be able to finish, and he didn't. So we're gonna have to work around that, I guess. We'll figure it out. But we're in good shape and ready for the new flooring. The tiling guy starts Monday, so everything had to be done, and I think they were able to manage that. So, you know, breathing, going with the flow, and trying our best. Okay, the things we gotta do. Picked him up today and he had chopped his hair because it was too hot. So, gotta try to fix this, right?
And what's on his face?
He did a tattoo on his face yesterday. Great week.
Have a good summer.
Okay, a little Thursday update. I am on the way to the house. Phil this morning did a bunch of errands. He went to pick up our special ordered paint, which had been received, which is great. He went to buy himself some new tools, so he's really excited. And these new tools are going to allow him to be able to do all the trims and molding for all the doors and windows himself. There's about 20, so anytime we can save is great because we pay all the workers by the hour, so we're trying to do as much as we can ourselves. And talking about workers, our handyman is MIA, so he's gone completely MIA for the past week. And he came to do a site visit the day after we got the house, and we haven't heard back since. And we've been sending updates, text, emails, calls, and he's not getting back to us. So I don't know what that means. I've heard he is like that, but we're getting a little bit worried because we're on a timeline here. Like, we want to move in as fast as possible. Like, we're hoping to move in about 3-4 weeks tops. And the movers are actually booked for in 2 weeks from now. So, because we had to leave our storage unit. So yeah, that means there's going to be lots of stuff in the way, and it would be great if he could do most of the work while the house is empty. But we'll have to see. Otherwise, Phil is turning into this handyman. We're grateful for YouTube and all these websites that have tutorials, and we're learning to do, you know, lots of stuff ourselves. And yeah, we're hoping to hear back from him though, especially for the paint. Like, I'm most worried about the paint in like the living room, because the ceilings, I think we measured, they're like 20 feet high. So we definitely don't have the equipment for that. Like, we need a pro. So I hope he gets back to us. We'll see. I will start painting the bedrooms because that's got to get moving, especially the kids. For a successful move, my number one tip is always to settle the kids first. Always organize their rooms first. So that's going to be our priority, is getting them organized, getting their like, we're putting closet systems in their closets to make sure that, you know, they have all they need and everything is convenient. So yeah, we'll get working on that. Okay. Okay, so we're going for a simpler look, and then we'll put another one of the rounded,
This one here.
this on top. And you couldn't find them anywhere, right?
Yeah. So I went to a place in town and they can do it custom made. Gonna be ready in 3 weeks. So we might have to install everything and just do the final layer in a month. And it's all wood. It's fine. So yeah, we don't want to put like MDF if possible.
Yeah, I told Phil no MDF, even though it's a little bit cheaper. MDF have formaldehyde, which off-gases for years. So
It's actually not that cheaper. Like it's almost the same price in the end. Like I was able to find like a lower grade pine, but who cares? It's just like a baseboard at the top. So yeah, it's gonna be perfect.
good. Okay, so I asked Phil to go to our storage unit last night because I have a work trip to Vancouver. I have to leave Sunday and have literally no summer clothes. They're all in boxes. So I'm just gonna try to pick a couple dresses, and that'll be that. Okay, so guess I'm painting this afternoon. Our contractor, like I said, went MIA, so gotta get things moving. This is Sophia's bedroom. She has the darkest blue wall, and with this new paint that I got, the main difference is the primer is not built in the regular paint, so we do have to do a primer first, which I'm doing now, and then we'll move on to 2 coats of the regular paint. So that is you know, an extra step, but like I said earlier, it doesn't smell anything, so it's very pleasant to do the paint. And seriously, with the amount that I spend on detoxing, I just didn't want to just add more when there's a solution and a way to not do it. Okay, so painting. This is gonna be Thomas's closet. Phil's been super creative because the IKEA packs that we have used in the past just couldn't fit, and his closet is really small. So here we are, and I'm just using the primer, and I'm really impressed with this paint. It smells absolutely nothing, which is one of the key benefits of going with a more low VOC, greener option for paint. So far so good. Just finished a series of calls in my temporary office, sitting on our mattress boxes. That's Sophia's room here. And going back to painting. This is actually my painting shirt, but nobody seemed to notice on Zoom. Okay, so now we just came to pick some fresh flowers at our favorite local farm. We come here maybe 2-3 times a week to fill up on fresh, local, in-season vegetables. Look at this. That'll be really, really nice. So one of the reasons why we picked this area, which is called the Eastern Townships, it's on the border of Vermont, USA. And the reason why we picked this area is because it's sort of like heaven. It's a bit of a microclimate, so it's a heaven for small farmers that just want to grow local. There's a lot of organic farming. Actually, the village that we picked was considered one of the first green town in Quebec. So that really spoke to us, and it brings also a very aligned community, which is what we were really looking for in this move, for the kids, for us, just for long term also. So yeah, like today we went and picked our fresh local vegetables, local flowers. We have, Sophia's actually picking blueberries right now with a friend. It's perfect. It's exactly the lifestyle that we were hoping for. Using those baskets from IKEA, and the rest is just plywood that I painted. Perfect, because it was so tiny in there. Great. Just out for a snack. Blueberries are almost ready. Yes, blueberries. So this looks like a good spot, maybe, because we have 10 big shrubs of blueberries that we purchased as soon as we got the house. So I'm trying to figure out the best spot for them, but this seems to be pretty good. So here we are hosting. This is my temporary kitchen, making some salads, and then Phil is at the grill. Okay, little Saturday night update. We just finished a long day. Your family came over.
Yeah, that was fun. Gave us like kind of an idea of like how it's gonna be great to entertain people at our new place. Even though the only thing we have right now is pretty much like a fridge, a barbecue, and a patio table. But turned out to be okay.
We did. Thankfully, it was a really nice day, so we were outside the whole time, which was nice because we have no furniture, nothing. And so we didn't see much this week.
No,
we didn't see
I was
each other.
busy making sure that the guy for the tiles is he's coming on Monday, so we had to make sure that everything was ready perfect. Like there were some holes from the old plumbing and gas line and stuff like that, vent that were moved. So we had to make sure everything was
done and cleaned.
Canceled and clean.
Because the electrician made a mess.
Oh, a mess, but that's part of it, right? Like every time we saw him, we're like, can you also add something here? Can you, like, oh, it's concrete and it's brick, and so yeah, there was dust and stuff everywhere, but better do it like while he's here, right? Exactly. And also, like, I did the trims, the top trims. We removed most of them, like the old ones. They were like too busy.
Big molding.
Yeah, exactly. So install the new ones with my new nailer.
You were just finding,
Yeah, pretty cool. I bought some equipment, but like I said, another video, like it's good to have your own sometime. You can do it yourself. You save quite a bit.
And so the electrician did a couple days, plumber, and then they told us they don't really know when they can come back.
Yeah.
And they still have, so the electrician still has at least 2 days.
Yeah, but the stuff that had to be done so we can work on the tiles, like
and the
it's
kitchen.
done. So we're good with that. All the other stuff, fast, like sooner is better.
And so let's talk about our handyman.
Well, he texted you back.
Just texted us randomly last night, I think, and was like, oh, I'm trying to finish a job. How's it going over there? When we had been sending him
several texts, but that's fine. I mean, at least like he's still in touch with us. So.
I just have been asking for a timeline. Like, it would just be nice to know what days he's thinking of coming, just so we can
It's
figure out our
yeah,
planning and
drywalling
scheduling
framing,
and
drywalling,
painting
mudding and painting. But you know, it's that kind of thing where he's gonna come and he's gonna do everything at once.
Okay, and this week is another really interesting week because I'm flying tomorrow to Vancouver for work, coming back Wednesday night, and you're leaving to Vancouver for work Wednesday
afternoon.
So
We'll see each other. Yeah.
Crossing, what's the expression?
I don't know.
Two boats sailing in the night or something like that. Well, yeah, we'll be saying hi in the air. So next week will be a lot of Zoom updates, I guess. So that's it for a busy week.
Yeah.
Sunday morning, and we just got a call from the electrician. Yay, he can come today. So we're just enjoying the morning here on the lake, Sunday morning, and then we'll head to the house.
Yep.
Okay, I'm flying this afternoon and I'm food prepping for Phil because when we were on the dock talking about the week ahead, I could feel his stress regarding food, and I think he wants to continue to be in the house, so fair enough. So I'm trying to get as much stuff done. So I'm roasting some sweet potatoes and chickpeas. I have some banana bread here, roasting some broccolis. Just lots of salads that I'm pre-washing. I just made a homemade pesto. I'm gonna roast some tofu because the kids love to munch on that. So yeah, trying to get a head start.
Today is it the official start of tiling.
We almost died. Oh, it's so expensive. Look at this. There's no more water. So I don't even know if we have a kitchen in the works.